New Mexico's Attorney General Raul Torrez announcing the arrest of 3 suspected online predators following an investigation in which the state's Department of Justice created online decoy accounts. The AG's office describes the so-called Operation Metafile as a month-long undercover investigation of child predators operating through Meta's platforms. In a statement, Torrez said that prosecutors will continue to target predators, but, in their words, ultimately only Mark Zuckerberg and his executive team have the power to make these products safe to use. Attorney General Torrez joins us right now, and boy, it's the same story, just a different method to accomplish these horrific ends. I think, Mr. AG, if it wasn't on Meta, they've done it other ways, but you think Zuckerberg needs to do something actively to stop it from happening on his platform?
Yeah, we've all seen the dog and pony show that happens on Capitol Hill whenever Mark Zuckerberg and other executives are taken to task for the way the algorithm operates. When they're challenged on why they don't have real age verification. And, from our perspective, enough is enough. Something has to change. And we are looking for accountability from this company, from its executives. And, yesterday's operation was, I think, conclusive proof that these platforms are not safe for children. And we need to start having a real conversation about how to change that.
It's I don't know whether, if it's not Meta, it's going to be somewhere else. And law enforcement obviously needs to get involved. Is there any place that is safe besides Meta? I figure that if Meta were to stop it, these same individuals would just move to a different avenue of accomplishing the same thing.
Well, listen, we are always in law enforcement challenged by moving from one sort of orientation to another. When I started this 20 years ago as a prosecutor in this office, they were in totally different systems. We had to really look in dark corners of the web to try and find this information and identify these people. So we're always going to have to adapt and sort of evolve as our landscape changes. But that doesn't relieve the burden on corporate leaders to take a more active and focused role in making sure that they place as much energy on ensuring safety as they do user engagement, revenue targets and things of that nature. We have to do this in a balanced way. And for example, there are social media companies out there right now that don't allow adult strangers to direct message children. There are ways for Meta to change its business practices to actually just make this a safer product for people to use.
That sounds like it wouldn't be. So it would not be that difficult. It's been done, and it wouldn't be that difficult. What is in it for Meta to not do that?
Well, I think there are reputational costs that come with maintaining a platform that I think is trying to place itself at the center of American life, of global conversations. But there's going to be a real drag on that company's reputation as long as we continue to have these stories, not only about mental health harms, addiction, anxiety, and those things, but really an emerging awareness of just how many predators are hunting in these spaces.
You just mentioned a lot of you take teenage girls and self-images and online bullying, and if I were Mark Zuckerberg, I might just close the whole thing down. It seems like a daunting task to try to address all these things. AG.
Well, listen, my perspective is that this has been a very successful company. It's obviously, it has tremendous resources and technical capability. My hope is that they would start using more of those resources and those technical capabilities on making their product as safe as possible. And, first we have to get through the legal process to demonstrate that they are responsible for the design features for the way the algorithm works. I mean, one of the things that is a central component of our lawsuit is that it is too easy for people who have a sexual interest in children to find those children, in part because of the way the algorithm is designed. And so, it's really up to them to start opening up about how their technology operates and figuring out how to put in some safeguards that can keep people safe.
Would you trust Mark Zuckerberg to handle AI properly, seeing his record in all these other areas? And AI would make all these things, it'd be like exponentially worse.
No, the short answer is no. I don't trust corporate leaders who have known about these kinds of harms for as long as they have. I mean, some of the things that have come to light in the early process, in just the preliminary stages of gathering discovery and information, reveal a real sense of awareness inside the company at the very highest levels, where we have these safety officers and people who are charged with identifying risks to certain users. And those concerns keep getting raised to the highest level, and they get seemingly disregarded. We've had a number of whistleblowers coming forward who have identified these issues. And I don't, the proof of whether or not somebody can be trusted has got to be predicated on their past performance. And from my perspective, his past performance doesn't lend itself to any type of credibility when it comes to something as impactful as artificial intelligence.